Hi y'all, it's Miss Rebecca from the Culpeper County Library Youth Services Department. So glad to have you here with me today. Today is our fingerprint story time, and that means that we're going to make characters in our story using our fingerprints. And what you're going to need is some washable markers and your fingers, and ask your mom and dad if you could do this at home with your own story that you'd like to make. So today's story is titled Stone Soup by Marcia Brown. Okay. Now, there was a traveler once who was looking for a village that could feed him and give him a place to stay while he was traveling. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make this traveler. So I'm going to take my brown marker, make his clothes. Then I'm going to take my skin colored marker, and I'm going to make his head. And then I take my black marker and draw his arms and legs and feet. This is very easy, and I'm no artist, so you can do this at home with no problem. So the traveler was on his way, and he saw the small village. So he arrived in the village, and he told the villagers that he was very hungry, he had been traveling a long time, and that he needed food. Well, the villagers said, "This is a very poor village. We are starving ourselves. We don't have enough to give you." So he said, "Well, do you have a big pot? I can make a pot of soup using a stone." Well, of course we have a pot. So they brought him a big pot, and they set it up with firewood and lit the fire. So they filled it up with water, and then to the crowd, the traveler said, "Does anyone know where I could find a smooth stone that I could use for our stone soup? Those make the best soup, smooth stones." So one of the villagers said, "Yes, I know where I can get a stone," and he brought the stone, and they put it in the pot. Well, next, as he was getting ready for the water to boil, he said to the villagers, "Well, you know, with my stone soup, a bit of carrot really goes well. Does anyone have some carrots that I could use for my stone soup?" So one of the village women said, "Yes, I have a few carrots," and she brought him the carrots, and they put it into the pot. Well, as they're still sitting there smelling this water and carrots and stone soup getting ready to boil, he said to the villagers, "Does anyone have a cabbage? Sometimes cabbage tastes really well in the soup." So one of the villagers said, I do have a cabbage. I will bring it." So about that time, everything started boiling, and the smell wafted out amongst the village houses, and all the villagers came out, and he said, "Well, does anyone have a small potato or a bit of beef?" So the villagers said, "Oh, I do. I have one potato left. Now I have a bit of beef." So they put all of that in the pot. Now while they were waiting for this stone soup to cook, they danced and they sang, and they had the best time they had had in a long time as a village, because they had been so sad about feeling hungry. So then the traveler said, "Well, let's set up the tables, because our stone soup is ready to eat." So they set up long tables with everyone having a place, and the traveler said to the mayor, "Now you know how to make stone soup." And the mayor was so pleased, because he said, "Now that we know how to make soup from a stone, we will never be hungry again." And he could do nothing but thank the traveler over and over again for teaching them. Now, you can do this with your own stories, favorite stories at home. Just remember to get your help with your mom and dad, and make sure that you have permission. And until next time, just keep reading.